Greetings, fellow detectives. Wizard Kitten here, bringing you a new build in my series Building a Nancy Drew in The Sims 4. Today we are doing another build based on characters whose homes we do not get to see in the game, but whose personalities I wanted to imagine within a home. And today, actually, we are doing a honeymoon home for Kyler Malloy and Matt Simmons from The Haunting of Castle Malloy. With my own wedding coming up very soon here, I was just really inspired to do some kind of wedding-themed content and builds, so I was really thinking about a honeymoon destination for Kyler and Matt and something that they would really like. And I figured Sulani would be perfect for this. Ever since they made Rental Lots base game, I have wanted to do a honeymoon destination in Sulani and make it a little rental bungalow cabin kind of thing that would be perfect for two Sims to come on their honeymoon. And so I figured this was the perfect opportunity. I was very excited to build this, very inspired. Of course, since it is in Sulani, we are using a lot of the island living packs assets, so like the beds, the floors, basically all of the doors and windows. But I also wanted to use the new kit that just came out, the Courtyard Oasis kit that was just released. And so I used a lot of the tile from that pack, not really a lot of the decorations or any of the architectural styles, but I did really want to use the tile. I feel like the tile still works really nicely for a island living build. I think it would work really nicely for a build in Salvadorada as well with Jungle Adventure. So that was my goal there. And I just had a lot of fun combining the two aesthetics together, using lots of bright colors, making everything look very vibrant and lush, and then adding in lots of activities for Kyler and Matt to do together. I initially thought about building them a honeymoon cabin in Windenburg, more of like a cottage style kind of honeymoon cabin. However, I feel like that is more in line with where Kyler and Matt would actually want to live. That seems more like their style for their home and not necessarily for a vacation. And I feel like if they were going on holiday, as people in the UK say, if they were going on holiday, I figured they would want to go somewhere sunny and tropical, somewhere totally different from the UK, which typically is more on the cloudy and rainy side and the cold side of things. I figured a tropical location would be more exciting for them as far as a honeymoon destination. I'm sure they would still love Windenburg as well, but it just wouldn't be quite as different. It would be something that they were more used to. So that was the reason for that, and also the reason why I'm playing Ransom of the Seven Ships music in the background rather than Haunting of Castle Malloy, because the aesthetic is very much more of a tropical destination, and I figured having the Irish music would feel a little bit out of place. So yeah, it's just a very small little bungalow. I used lots of wood tones and then lots of the colorful tiles like I mentioned. It's got one bedroom, it has a nice little living room, it's got a nice little kitchen, and then it has this really nice outdoor deck space with tons of activities. I wanted it to have so many things for the Sims to do on their honeymoon, because honestly, usually when I play with Sims and they go on their honeymoons, they're bored. Like, there's not a whole lot for them to do. It doesn't feel super romantic. Like if I send them on a camping trip to Granite Falls, they just go camping, and there's not really anything that makes it special. There's nothing that makes it feel like a honeymoon. So I wanted to put a couple of jet skis down so they could go on little jet ski trips together. I wanted to put down the hot tub so they'd have a romantic place to sit at sunset and look out at the ocean and just really enjoy it. A couple of these lounge chairs here, and the massage tables for sure. You can hire a massage person to come and do your massage at any lot, really. So having it at the honeymoon destination, I loved the idea of. I am a big fan of massages, and so if there was like an all-inclusive massage opportunity that came with the honeymoon, sign me up. That sounds amazing. And then there's just a little dining area out here. Eventually I put an outdoor shower as well. I tried to decorate everything in kind of a very romantic style, and we're going with lots of neutral browns because of all of the wood tones, and then blue as the primary accent color. I thought about doing red since that's kind of more romantic per se. I mean, if you think about a red rose or something, that seems more romantic. But I based really the whole color scheme off of the tiles from the Courtyard Oasis kit that I wanted to use, and I was just in love with these blue ones. I thought they still fit a romantic style really nicely, and I loved all the colors, and I thought they were perhaps the tile that kind of just fit in with this world the best and with the design and the colors and everything. So that's why we ended up with a more blue color scheme. And I just love blue for a vacation home as well, because blue is such a soothing and just like relaxing color. And if you're going on your honeymoon to this tropical little bungalow and you're just hanging out together, I feel like relaxing is definitely on the menu. I tried to eventually fit in this chess table too, but I eventually decided there really wasn't a good place for it, and there were plenty of other activities. I mean, beyond the things that are at this bungalow, your Sims can, of course, just go swimming, they could go scuba diving, they can build sandcastles, they can relax on the beach, they can go visit the bar in town. There's plenty of other things that they can do while they're staying in this rental lot, but I also wanted there to be plenty of activities to do at the lot. So now we're moving on to the bedroom here, and again, decorating it with more of the soft blues and golds, lots of romantic lighting. I spent forever looking up the little bucket that has the bottle of champagne or wine in it that has a romantic buff to it. So when your Sims go into the room, they automatically feel romantic. This bucket here that I just placed. So I definitely wanted to include that, like the people who own this little rental always include that for people that go on their honeymoon, which I just think is so cute. So I enjoyed doing that. And then we add a bunch of decorative items as well. Some of you may be wondering, maybe you're not at all, but some of you may be wondering, Mr. Wizard Kitten and I are not planning on going on our full dream honeymoon this summer because of the pandemic. What we want to do is we want to go to the UK for our dream honeymoon, and we want to spend like 2.5 weeks there. Like, we want to spend a good long time there. We don't want there to be any restrictions on, quarantining, and we just want to really be able to enjoy it. We want it to be a normal trip where we can really see all the sights, go to all the places, eat all the wonderful food, and really experience the UK in its fullest, because neither of us have ever been there, and both of us really want to be there. I mean, we're both lovers of stories and movies and literature, and so many of those things are heavily inspired by the UK and Britain and Ireland and Wales and all those beautiful places. So we want to go there eventually. It probably won't be it definitely won't be this summer, but we're hoping that it will be next summer. So this summer instead, after our honeymoon, around the time that you are watching this video actually, we are planning on doing a little mini moon where we're just going to rent an Airbnb, go hiking, enjoy the outdoors that Minnesota has to offer, but it'll be safe and social distance still, even though things are improving quite a bit here. We just wanted to do something that we knew would be safe and that we would still be able to have a lot of fun with. So that's why I'm doing this build. Honeymoon on the brain. Definitely excited about the idea of vacations again. Gosh, has it been a long time since vacations were a thing. I'm getting very excited for that. Cannot wait to go on vacations again. So that's why building this was just so much fun. It was such an inspirational thing to do because it really got that bug out of my ear. I could think about honeymoons. I could think about vacations. I could think about like a dream destination and the things that you would want included in your little rental when you go on vacation. So it was very fun. I also really enjoy how this kitchen turned out. I was worried that it would be kind of obnoxious, like it would just be too bright, it wouldn't make sense. But I think for a rental property especially, it makes a lot of sense. And again, we're going with the blue here and the orange and then the like mint green. And I just love how it all came together with the dark blue stove and the dark blue fridge from the Jungle Adventure pack as well. I can totally imagine seeing this in a rental property and getting to cook in a fun little space like this. And I kept it relatively uncluttered because it's not a space that anyone owns. Like, nobody lives here. It gets cleaned up pretty regularly between guests and everything. So it just has the necessities, some fun little decorative items. And I was happy with how the layout worked too. I was worried it wouldn't have enough space, but I like how this little island fits in the middle here and how the counter wraps around that corner. It ended up working out quite well, and I was very happy with it. And eventually I'm going to put in a shelf here, and then I'm going to fill it up with debug items. Here's the shelf, debug items from Island Living specifically. I wanted to fill it up with a bunch of shells that come from this pack, just as a fun decorative item, because that's one of the things I love the most about staying in places in different countries, and is getting to see the things that are so normal to people who live in that area that are just like so exciting to us. Like seeing seashells, beautiful seashells, is probably so normal for people who live in somewhere tropical, but for a visitor, for someone who would be there on a vacation or a honeymoon, like it's something kind of spectacular. It's cool, and it's things that people buy as souvenirs and gifts, very touristy kinds of things. So I wanted to make sure to include that, and similar thing with the paintings that I hung around as well, some of the scuba diving paintings where the Sims can take pictures when they're doing the scuba diving of like the sea turtles and the barracudas and all of that fun stuff. I definitely want to include those as well to help make this feel like it's truly a really special and unique destination that your Sims who live in other worlds might not get to experience in their regular lives. So that was a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite things about traveling, is just finding all those fun little souvenirs and little things and seeing all the things that are so different. But we're moving on to the living room now, continuing with our blue theme. I do love these couches and chairs from the Island Living expansion pack that have kind of like the mesh back and sides. They do feel very resort to me as well, so I really enjoyed using them in this build. I think they fit really nicely for a rental space, a honeymoon space, so that was very fun. And the views are really, honestly, what I think make this destination especially excellent for a honeymoon destination, because I made sure to put in a ton of windows so your Sims could look out the windows and basically get like beach and ocean views from pretty much every space. From the living room, you have window views of the ocean on two sides of the room. The bedroom has a full-size window that looks out onto the deck. The deck itself is full of like ocean views. Like no matter where you look on the deck, there's always a beautiful ocean view. And the only place where you really don't is the kitchen, but there's still a nice big window there so you can look out at the beach while you're sitting at the island kind of thing. And let's be honest, I mean, most of the time, unless it's raining, unless it's monsooning, your Sims are probably going to be hanging out on that outdoor deck and doing some of the wonderful activities that Sulani has to offer. So at this point, we just have the bathroom left to finish, and then we have the kind of just the landscaping out towards the front, relatively straightforward. Like I mentioned, I've been pre-recording quite a few videos, so the time that I built this is right when the kit came out, but you're going to be seeing it a little bit later, and I just appreciate everyone's, your patience and your understanding. The month of May and the month of June have been extremely busy for me with my own wedding coming up, so streams haven't been quite as frequent, and builds have been pre-recorded a little bit out. I've been a little more absent on the Instagram and stuff like that, but I really appreciate everyone's patience and understanding with that. Just knowing that I'm doing a lot of other things at the moment, and I still cannot wait for our Streamathon coming up soon this summer, where we're going to be finishing up our Nancy Drew 2021 Streamathon. We've made good progress thus far, but of course it will be very exciting to play all of the other games. July is going to be a big month. We're going to be doing lots and lots of streaming in July. So if you aren't already subscribed, please feel free to do so. That is by far the easiest way to know if I am going to be live streaming a game, especially if you have the notifications turned on by hitting that little notification bell. The streams are a really great time, and I think that's one of the most fun parts about our specific little channel and community here on YouTube is the streams that we have together, hanging out with one another and enjoying the streams and just loving Nancy Drew and stories together. That's probably my favorite part, and from what I hear from a lot of you, it's one of your favorite parts as well. So if you're interested in those, I would love to have you join us. And thank you already to those who do come to those streams and who I get to see quite regularly. It means a lot. But anyway, we'll be coming up on the screenshots here very soon. Thank you so much for watching, fellow detectives. And as always, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Nancy Drew and Sims 4 content. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon.